the volcano. Now once they're poured, what you don't want to see is you don't want to be able to see through the bottom of the jar. This is how you clean the Erlenmeyer flask and stuff. With hot water and soap. You got to get all that agar off there, otherwise it'll stick to the inside of the Erlenmeyer flask, and then you'll have a bunch of sources of contamination. So, I mean, I'll have to pressure cook that probably in some hot water to really clean it, because I can't get down there with any sort of vessel, you know. These Erlenmeyer flasks are great, but they're very fragile and they're hard to clean. So what I've done is I've poured it, and now I'm just letting it cool. The reason why I let it cool is because it can evaporate all the water. Versus a regular Petri dish, when you're pouring the agar into your Petri dish, what happens is you put the lid on right away, and then it gets that condensation. Well, with this, if you pour it and then let it semi-solidify, what happens is it cools it down faster. That way, when you put the lid on, there's not as much condensation. And the best thing about these is once you inoculate them, you can flip them upside down so that all the water or condensation collects on the top of this. And I know there's holes in there with micropore tape, but it helps. And the last thing that I do is, as soon as I take it off the pressure cooker or off the stove, what I do is I'll set it up here and I'll put it on a slant. That way, as it cools, just like a master slant tube, it'll be a master slant Petri dish, where the water will, if there is any, will collect in the bottom corner. That way your mycelium doesn't get drowned. So the next step is I'm going to be putting the lids on, putting the tin foil on, and then popping it on the stove. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.